Hello, hello, hello. Today is August 22nd, 2022, and that is the date in which Norm Winski and the stars are in alignment. He's going to tell us what important change in trend dates we have coming up and show you how well he did 2 weeks ago. Norm, it's all yours.
Thank you very much, Jeff. As I always like to do, I like to give people some education. On the old Chinese proverb, catch a fish for a man, he eats for a day. Teach him how to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. So I'm a big advocate of that, big believer in that. So I like to show the people how we're doing this. So anyway, the night I gave these dates, you can go back and check, or I'll send you the past video if you want. We had the night of the 10th, that's AC, after the close overnight between the 10th and the 11th. Pluto to the U.S. natal chart. The U.S. natal chart is where the planets were on 4th of July, 1776. Anytime we had that, something to the U.S. natal chart, we look at U.S. stocks, T-bonds, and U.S. dollar. Then the night of the 11th, and we'll be looking to do something possibly on the next morning's opening, we had a full moon in the sign of Aquarius. Anytime we have a full moon, new moon, we round up the usual suspects. That's financials, grains, precious metals. And because it was in Aquarius, we were running a special on copper. Then we had that same night, we had Mercury at 0 south latitude. If you want to help with any of these technical terms, give me a call. Give you a free class explaining these terms. Anyway, we had a Mercury cycle. Mercury is the grains. And also the grains dance to the moon too. So we had a double whammy there for the grains. You notice they had the moon and Mercury, and we're going to be looking at corn, soybeans, wheat. And then the night of that was 12th was Friday, so the night of the Friday the 12th over the weekend, we had the moon's north node to Uranus, and they're both in Taurus now. So that the Taurus the bull, so you might guess that's cattle, cotton, copper, and silver. So let's look at the charts. Here we had our double whammy here for the grains for a change in trend in the grains right there where those two green arrows are for corn. And you notice it topped that day and then went down, down, down. Soybeans were even better because you had a little bit of heat on the corn there and had very little heat on the beans there. And then they went down, down, down. And then here's the wheat. It was zero, just about zero heat on the wheat. And then it went down, down, down. So that was really good. Notice how the market had rallied into about that time and then turned and topped and went down. So you could have made some nice money on all three of those grains. Here's cattle. I had a point for the weekend of the 12th. And so you would be looking to do something on the opening of Monday the 15th. And notice the market was coming down. So if you bought there on that opening bar, you did take a little bit of heat. Then it popped right back up the next day. And again, you had an opportunity to make some money. And that's why we have the green arrow there. If you don't have an opportunity to make some money, then we get a red arrow. Here's cotton. Now, our timing for that was the same as the cattle, the morning of the 15th. However, it was within one day of that top, but the market went way against you, like five handles. In cotton, that's like $2,500, which is not an acceptable risk. So therefore, I had to mark that as a miss. Here's copper. Copper had like a double top here. We had the moon in Aquarius, full moon in Aquarius. You had topping out there right near the top there, 11th to the 12th. And then we had one day later, and close to the high, you had the Uranus point there over that weekend into the opening of the 15th, and that was a nice top. And then you had a big drop that day, and then so forth. Here's your silver. Silver had the moon, made a low on the moon, and then went up for the moon's north node. Is related to silver, and there you go. So you had a top right there, and then a big down on the silver. Here's gold making a low right on the moon. S&P was our clunker of the month. The last 2 weeks, we had 4 points for the S&P. Everything the S&P potentially responds to all these points, whereas the commodities tend to only respond to certain factors, certain planets, signs, so forth. Okay, so we had these three were misses, and then we did get an okay one here, where the next day we topped and then we went down, so you had a chance to make some money on that one. Here's the T-bonds were pretty good. You could have sold against that top there and made some nice money. And then over here on On the moon, buying on the opening of the 12th, you had a very nice low there on the bonds, and that rallied up about 3 handles or so, good for about $3,000 there on that. The dollar, you might have noticed, has been going up, 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 and the low when that rocket got launched was back here over the 10th and the 11th. There's our U.S. point there. There's the moon there, and now we're up about 4 handles, or about $4,000 on the dollar index. Aussie dollar, the currency is all like most of the currencies dance to the moon. There's the moon there on the Aussie dollar, and you can see big down after the moon. You got the British pound was going sideways, so we put a yellow box there to show that we did nothing. That's a pass. Here's your Canadian dollar rallying right into the moon, topping in the moon, at the moon, near the moon there, and then down, 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 and euro was going sideways, so you took a pass. Here's the Swiss franc. Had a little bit of an upward bias there into the moon, and then down, down, down. If you add up the green arrows and red arrows, you had 20 winners, 4 misses out of 24 for 83.33% winners. Okay, here's what's coming up. We got a cluster coming up here in about a day or so. Starting tomorrow afternoon, that will be the 23rd afternoon. You see the PM there. We're going to have Saturn in Aquarius lining up with Neptune. That's going to be Saturn is coffee, Aquarius is copper, and Neptune is oil. So there you go, coffee, copper, oil there. For tomorrow afternoon, might your window might stretch into early the next day, the 24th. Here's another one that afternoon to the U.S. chart. Again, we have U.S. stocks, T-bonds, U.S. dollar. And then that night, we have another Mercury cycle for the grains, corn, gold, soybeans. We got gold because this is aphelion, has to do with the Mercury is relation to the sun as it goes around the sun. Aphelion means it's the closest point in this 88-day cycle, so that brings in gold too, because the sun gold is golden like the sun. Okay, then we have that night. This is top-notch stuff now, big stuff. Uranus is turning retrograde. I'll explain that if you give me a call. It has to do with the relative motion of the Earth to the other planets. Anytime the planets change trend, the markets often change trend. And because Uranus is in Taurus, the bull, we'll be looking at cattle. And because it's Uranus, that's electrical, so it's copper, because that's a conductor. And cotton is a Taurus market too. Then we have the new moon coming up over the weekend, this end of this week, and that'll be in Virgo. So we round up the usual suspects: financials, grains, precious metals, and because it's in Virgo, soybeans. And then we also have a Mercury point with a new moon, and that's again a double whammy for the grains. And you saw how well that worked a couple weeks ago, and that's corn, soybeans, wheat. So notice that this stuff is real. Look at the chart. This is really simple. There's no moving average, oscillators, anything on these charts. It's naked bar charts. That's it. All you got to know is you got to know the key times. Mr. Gann said that time was more important than price. Most of the people spend most of their time for forecasting price, and guess what? 95% of the people are not making any money. So you might want to reconsider how you're looking at the markets. All right, so I've been doing this a long time. I started out right out of college in 1975. Actually, I was investing while I was in college, and then I made enough money so I could buy a membership on the then fledgling Chicago Board Options Exchange. In 1975, straight out of college, I was a member market maker on that exchange floor there, and also did, it was because the Board of Trade was in the same building, ended up going on there for a while too. So that was way back in 1975 when the dinosaurs roamed the earth, Jeff. All right, so now if you'd like to learn more and maybe hopefully improve your trading, get a hold of me. I'm in sunny Florida here, Naples, Florida, 239-594-3939. It's 239-594-3939. Here's my email, nwinski@embark, EMBARQ, or you can call me on Skype at nwinski_1. Looking forward to helping some of your folks. Jeff, please call me right away because this is my end of the week is publication time, and the closer we get to the weekend, the busier I'll be. So the best time to contact me is today or tomorrow. Thanks a lot, Jeff, everybody. Have a great week.
Norm, terrific as always, a great track record as always, and looks like we have some dates coming up this week that could be major ones. Norm, that's a big thank you, and we'll see you back in a couple of weeks.
Thank you very much, Jeff.